Hello and welcome everybody from Bangkok, the capital of Thailand. I prepared a lot of interesting facts about the city, and we will also visit the main sightseeing attractions. Buddhist temples await us in this very nice vlog, and I really recommend to watch it until the end because it will be really worth. Bangkok is a huge city. In 2010 the population was measured and it was 8.2 million people, but after 6 years later, in 2016, they already estimated that it has 17 million people who are living in Bangkok. So it's a really huge city, and it's very interesting in comparison that in the 14th century it was just a village in the Ayutthaya kingdom. Ayutthaya kingdom was a Siamese kingdom from 1351 until 1767, and Bangkok served as a custom outpost to control the trade on the Chao Phraya river. So it had two forts on the both sides of the Chao Phraya river to control the customs. Thailand was never colonized by the European forces, and it's worth to mention the Siege of Bangkok, which was a very famous part of the Siamese revolution, which took place in 1668, and this was when the Siamese, the Thai people, ousted the French from the Siamese kingdom. The 19th century was a key in the history of Thailand because all other neighbor countries were colonized. On the east we could find the French Indochina, on the north the Burmese colony, which was belonging to the British Empire, and also to the west India was colonized by the British. Fortunately to the Siamese people, King Rama V was on throne, and he was a very good politician. He gave some small territories to these big forces of Europe, and this is how they made a pact, and it was no invasion of Thailand. King Rama V is also respected from other reason in Thailand, because under his authority slavery was abolished. On 8th December of 1941, Japan invaded Thailand, and it was just some hours of fighting because the Prime Minister of Thailand, Pibun, ordered armistice. He made a pact with Japan that Japan will have free passage through the country, and Thailand will get its old territories back. This was the pact between Japan and Thailand. But well, because of this alliance, the Allied forces started to bomb Bangkok, and it was the United States of America who gave very big aid, financial help to Thailand after the end of the Second World War, in order to reconstruct some places, and also the government helped to restore everything. In the 80s and in the 90s, Bangkok was developing very fast, because there were a lot of multinational companies who placed their headquarters here, so it was large investments, and this is why a lot of people moved here to Bangkok, because there are a lot of job opportunities, and we can call Bangkok already an international hub for transport, healthcare, culture, art, fashion, and well, from every point of view. And well, this is a statistics before the pandemics, of course. Bangkok was the most visited city of the world. That's I think really amazing. More than 20 million people, tourists, came to Bangkok to visit the place, and this was also very surprising to me that on the second place was London. So it was even London which was conquered by Bangkok, if I can say like this. Well, of course, Bangkok is also famous about a lot of red light districts which they have. I don't know the official information, but I think Bangkok has the most red light districts of the world. And well, this will be missed from this vlog because I'm not a sex tourist, so I didn't came here for that. So well, I just wanted to mention, if you like this kind of entertainment, then you will find your taste for sure. Bangkok also has a Thai name which is Krung Thep, and it's more interesting that it is a much longer name in Thai, which has 137 letters, and this is a Guinness World Record, so it's extremely long. How can you imagine this? Bangkok is called the City of Angels, City of Gods incarnate, City of the Thai Kings, City of the Thai kings' palaces, and this is how this enumeration continues, and this is how you get these 137 letters. It's really amazing. That's also something special about Bangkok. Well, I wouldn't call it City of Angels, as I already mentioned, it's famous about its red light districts, and yesterday it happened a very funny story with me. Well, I didn't go to the red light district, I was just walking on the street searching for some street food, and a lady boy was approaching me. You know, these lady boys are the transgenders who are operated from man to woman, and they are usually working as a prostitute here in Bangkok. And well, she tried to offer me something and I didn't respond, and she was stalking me. She was walking behind me, and I didn't even pay attention. I thought that she will just stop and leave, but no, she was still coming after me, and she was saying like, where you go, where you go? And I was, I didn't even respond. I didn't reply to him, and well, she saw that I'm not really paying attention, and then she started to do like this. I was like, what is this? It was really funny. Then finally I had enough of this, that she was still stalking me, and I just put a sign, okay, I'm not interested about your offers, that's it. Well, if you're a tourist in Bangkok, you also need to take care about, you also need to pay attention on the tuk-tuk drivers, because they either overcharge you or they charge you too few money. Well, why is this a problem if they give you a discount? I tell you, it's also a funny story, because they will not deliver you to the address, or maybe they deliver you to the address where you want to go, but only later. This means that after you start the journey with him, then he will say that he knows a very nice place which is called a Thai factory, and every tuk-tuk driver says the same thing, that they will bring you to the Thai factory, and you don't know what is that. And finally he explains with a bad English that it is like a tailor, and well, it has nothing to do with Thai people, because it is just Indian tailor there, and he has an agreement with the tuk-tuk driver. If you buy there a very expensive suit, then also the tuk-tuk driver will get some money from that. Well, it is not dangerous, so also I was scammed with this, because I negotiated a good price with the tuk-tuk driver, and then I finally landed in this Thai factory. And I remember that this happened to me also 4 years ago when I was first in Bangkok, so all tuk-tuk drivers use the same scam. So what happens, you just walk inside, there's the Indian guy, not Thai, and he says that he has very nice suits for 200 euros, for 300 euros, 500 euros, and you are just shocked, and you walk out. Then the tuk-tuk driver is very sad that you didn't buy anything, and then he will deliver you to the address, to your destination. But it is annoying, and also you lose a lot of time with this, so it's not really, yeah, it's not good to have this round trip with the driver. So that's why you need to take care about this, and better to avoid it.
Where are you from?
Hungary.
Welcome to Thailand. Happy New Year.
Most of the tourists learn the first word Sawadika in Thai language, which means hello and greetings, but not everybody knows that this word, this expression exists only from the 1930s, when a professor at the University Chulalongkorn invented this new word. And before that, it is really funny that people were greeting each other with the expression Jin Kao Leo Ru Yang, which was actually a question: have you eaten today yet? I can't imagine that I meet somebody and didn't even say hello. I just ask, have you eaten something yet? It's really funny. I also wanted to add that this also, not everybody knows about this, that ka actually means please, and if a woman says it, it's always ka, and if a man says it, then it's krap. So actually I should say savadi krap, and also when you say thank you, kap kun krap, and the woman say kap kun ka. So this is the difference between these expressions. Because there are really a lot of transgenders in Thailand, you will find in some places that they have free bathrooms. Well, because the transgenders should use a separate bathroom. Of course, it would be very interesting if they would walk in the woman's toilet, because maybe they would need a pissoir. And well, this would be also funny if they would go inside of a male toilet, because they are looking very, very beautiful. I also read that they some of them won in a beauty contest. Maybe that was in the Philippines. I'm not sure about this, but well, it would be very strange for the men if these ladyboys would walk in the men's toilet. So yes, this is something of special about Thailand, but it's very rare. Actually, when I was in small restaurants, they had only one toilet, only one bathroom, so this was like a unisex used by everybody. In Thailand, it is not respectful to hand over cash or credit card with only one hand when you are paying, and it is better to do this with two hands. So this is how you show respect. And well, of course, this is not expected from tourists, but still it's a nice way to show respect to locals. And if you also nod like this, it is much more better. This is the Bangkok Sky Train, part of the Bangkok Mass Transit System, or MTS, how it is called. Public transportation in Bangkok is quite developed, well, if you compare it with the region. The whole traffic is a hustle and bustle, and it's always very noisy. It's very tiring for the tourist to be outside all the day, because well, as I said, it's really noisy, and you always need to take a look left and right. Of course, they are also taking care of you. This is actually how I saw it. I didn't really have any tourists who told me about any accidents or something. If you stay in one of the stations at 8 AM or 6 PM, then you will be surprised that everybody will stop, because the national anthem of Thailand will be played, and it is not just unpolite to not stop and stand, but it's also illegal. can find a lot of small rivers and canals in Bangkok. That's why it is also called the Venice of the East. It's very funny that I also visited the Venice of the North, Stockholm, but I never went to the real Venice in Italy. These rivers are not really lack of danger. You can see there a huge snake. Oh my god, it's really huge. It's not a snake. I don't know what is this reptile. Thailand is illegal to step on any Thai baht coins because they all have a picture of the king. I'm very curious what would happen if the police would catch somebody who does that, but well, I will not do it definitely. The Buddhist temple Wat Chakravat Ratchavat has a very special legend. During the Ayutthaya period, the Chao Phraya river was full with crocodiles, and there was one special crocodile which was very dangerous and killed many people. Its name was iPod, which means in Thai language one-eyed, because this crocodile had only one eye. And after all, the locals were very angry about this crocodile, and they went to hunt it down. But what happened? Somehow this crocodile escaped from the river and found shelter here under the monks' houses. And that was very surprising to me, that the monks didn't let these hunters to kill this very bloody crocodile. The monks offered that they will dig a pond here at the temple, and they will keep the crocodile there, so it cannot hurt anybody after, because they will also make some fence around this pond. So this was the deal between the monks and the hunters, so the hunters accepted it. So it was a really funny story. I don't know why the monks were defended the crocodile, but probably it's in the Buddhist religion to respect all lives. But well, if we consider that the crocodile took a lot of human lives, then well, it's not really even Steven. So after this crocodile died, it was stuffed. Now we can see it around this pond. And this is the pond made for the crocodile. And it's absolutely incredible that even today two crocodiles live there. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but they are their heads. And over there in the corner you can see iPod stuffed. This is the temple. This is the happy Buddha, which has a very big belly and smiling is always the happy Buddha. This is the Chao Mae Tumtim shrine, or also called the penis shrine. As you can see, there are a lot of phallic statues. It's very funny. These circumcised penis statues, which are said to possess special cosmic powers and endow good fortune and fertility on anybody coming into contact with them. So Thai women are usually coming here to get the blessing of the goddess Chao Mae Tumtim, who was a pre-Buddhist Southeast Asian tree spirit, who is said to bestow blessings on those who worship her at this shrine. You can see the offerings. There are some fruits, and also that phallic statue on the right side has some decorations on it. So it is really believed that it carries blessings. And also interesting that not only Thai women are coming here, but I read that also people around the world. So it's really interesting, and it was built in 1920. This is the Klong Saen Saep River. It seems very dusty, not very clean, but well, we are in Bangkok. As you can see, there are some constructions behind me, and probably this is the reason why this penis shrine was reduced. It was much bigger, this shrine, this temple, and it had more than 100 penis statues, which had a size range from a donut to a size of a canoe. So yeah, I think it was really funny, and I also intended to do a separate vlog about this, but as you can see, this shrine was really reduced. So yeah, but the story is still interesting though. Now we will visit the Buddhist temple Pathum Vanaram, established in 1857 by King Rama IV. And it's very interesting that those times here was only rice fields. The temple is located between the shopping malls Central World and Siam Paragon. It's over there. In front of us we can see a stupa. You always need to take off your shoes when you enter a Buddhist temple. In Thailand, the temples also have an order, and this is a third class royal temple. The holy tree. This is the famous traffic of Bangkok, always with traffic jam. Now it's quite empty, it's quite okay. This is the Lupini Park, which is very interesting because there is not so much greenery in Bangkok. There are skyscrapers everywhere, and they used each centimeter to build something. So yeah, it's really hustle and bustle. So that's why it's really worth to escape from the noise of the city and come to this huge park, which has 57 hectares. So it's really big. And it was established in 1925 when King Rama VI donated his own private property to establish this park. It's also interesting fact that the Japanese army during the Second World War had its camp here, and we can also observe that Thailand has some very strict regulations, like cycling is allowed only from 10 AM until 3 PM in this park. I don't know why, but this is the regulation, and dogs are not allowed. So it's very popular among the locals because they come here jogging and running, so it's a really nice place to escape from the hustle and bustle of the city. By the way, it's an artificial lake. a very interesting bird. I don't know what is it. And I forgot to tell you that the name Lupini is coming from the hometown of Buddha, which is Lumbini with the B, and it's in Nepal. Cables everywhere. This is really crazy. Only in Southeast Asia you can see such a thing. Well, also in India. I can't imagine why there are so many cables. Probably everybody has his own cable. For internet, for electricity, for I don't know, but that's incredible. This huge Buddhist temple is a royal temple of the first grade, and well, actually there are 10 such temples in Bangkok and 23 in Thailand. So this Buddhist temple is called Wat Sutat Tepararam. Little bit interesting name, and it's very old because it was constructed in 1807 by King Rama the First. There are 28 Chinese pagodas, which symbolize the 28 Buddhas born on the earth. Here's a short explanation that it's wrong to use symbols of Buddha in bar decoration or tattoo. It means no respect. Also, people visiting Buddhist temples must dress respectful. Wow. This is incredible. This temple is really, really beautiful. These are the pagodas which I mentioned in the beginning. It's extremely colorful. I have no clue what is this. Bangkok has the biggest Chinatown of the world. A lot of Chinese are living here, and we also have a lot of street food here, so it's really recommended to visit also this part of the city. This is the gate of the Chinatown. As I mentioned already before, Bangkok has the biggest Chinatown among all of the cities of the world. It was constructed in 1999 for the birthday of the King Bhumibol Adulyadej, for his 72 birthday. And there we can see in Thai language, "Long live the King." And on the other side we can also see it in Chinese language. This is a symbol of the Chinese community in Bangkok. So this is the other side of the gate, where we can see in Chinese letters "Sheng Shu Wu Yang", which means "Long live the King." This is the Chao Phraya river. I mentioned it in the beginning of the vlog. There is also public transportation on this river, and these smaller boats carry 4,000 passengers in one day. You can see here the flag of Thailand. The cruising costs 10 baht, which is like 20 euro cents. It's really cheap. It's incredible.
We are now at Wat Man Kon Kamala Wat, the largest and most important Chinese Buddhist temple in Bangkok. It hosts celebrations of a number of year-round events, including Chinese New Year and annual Chinese Vegetarian Festival. It was built in 1871, and it's also named as Dragon Lotus Temple. The temple is built in a classic Chinese architectural style with typical sweeping tiled roofs decorated with animal and floral motifs. It's really beautiful.
ไม่ผิดนะเราจะปิดเวลาประมาณสัก 17 นาฬิกานะครับเดี๋ยวประมาณนั้น
This temple is very important in the life of the Chinese community of Bangkok. Also celebrations of the Chinese New Year take place here. Year of the Ox. This is the Sampeng Lane market in Chinatown. You can find everything here, and it's really cheap. And it's next to Yaowarat Road, which has a lot of street food. It's a really popular shopping area among the locals.
has a lot of alleys. It's really huge. You can really find everything here. This is the Yaowarat road. Absolutely incredible hustle and bustle. We'll visit Wat Mahat Hat Yuaratrangsrit, one of the 10 royal temples of Bangkok, a Buddhist temple, which was established in the Ayutthaya period. So it was very old, but after Bangkok was named as the capital of Siam and the royal palace was constructed very close to this temple, it had much more importance, and a lot of royal ceremonies and funerals were held here. And because of this reason, a lot of kings took care of this temple, and it was renovated during the centuries. It got the name in 1806, Wat Mahat Hat, because originally it was Wat Salak, and in 1996 got its current name, Wat Mahat Hat Yuaratrangsrit. It's also interesting that there is a meditation center also, and a university, which has a very interesting name. Well, I need to cheat on this and read from the internet. It is named Mahachulalongkornarajavidyala University, and this was only one word, but it's more interesting that it's Thailand's oldest higher education institute for Buddhist monks. It's a huge golden Buddha. And here's the university with the very nice name. It's really only one word. We will visit now the Grand Royal Palace, which is the main sightseeing attraction of Bangkok. It is very, very beautiful, and it was the residence of the Thai king between 1782 and 1925, and even now royal ceremonies are held here. Constructions of the palace began on the 6th May of 1782. It was ordered by the king Puttayota Chulalok, more known under the name of King Rama I. He was also the founder of the Chakri dynasty, and he moved the capital from Thonburi to Bangkok. That was the reason to construct this palace. Well, over the centuries each Thai king expanded the palace, and that's why you will see it lays on a huge ground, and it has very, very beautiful buildings. You will be really amazed about it, so I really recommend to watch this vlog until the end. If you visit the Grand Palace, you need to consider the dress code. You must cover your shoulders and also your knees, and this is also important for male visitors. So even if you are coming with short pants, they will not allow you to enter, and you need to borrow some long pants to enter. This is like 50 baht to borrow these long pants, so it's not a big deal. If you wear sandals or flip-flops, you must wear also socks. That's also mandatory thing, so you cannot walk in with barefoot. As I mentioned before, the Thai king doesn't live here since 1925, because King Bhumibol Adulyadej, I don't know if I pronounced well, King Rama IX, resided at the Chitralada royal villa, and his successor, King Vajirala Longkorn, Rama X, resided at Amporn Satan Residential Hall. Both these places are in the Dusit Palace, but the Grand Palace is still used for coronations and for royal ceremonies, and state functions are held within the walls of the palace every year. Actually, what you can see currently, this is just a pavilion. It's not yet the royal palace, because at the entrance we can find the temple of the Emerald Buddha. This is what we'll visit first. Wat Phra Kaew, or the temple of the Emerald Buddha, is regarded as the most important Buddhist temple in Thailand. It has a Buddha image which is meticulously carved from a single block of jade. We will see that soon when we go inside. Construction of the temple began in 1783. Of course, as I just mentioned, the palace was constructed 1 year before, so also this temple was ordered by King Rama I. And since then each successive king has been personally involved in adding, restoring and embellishing the temple during their reigns, as a way of making religious merit and glorifying the dynasty. Many important state and royal ceremonies are held within the temple each year, presided by the king in person and attended by government officials. This makes the temple the nation's preeminent place of worship and a national shrine for the monarchy and the state. So through the years, each king has donated the sacred and valuable objects to the temple, making it a real treasury. This is a really huge stupa. Absolutely incredible architecture style. Absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the jade Buddha, the emerald Buddha, because photography is not allowed inside, and also video. So yeah, that's really bad, but I think it's still very, very beautiful to enjoy this view from outside. Try to zoom in from outside. There you can see the emerald Buddha. After we left the area of the Emerald Buddha, we can visit the rest of the palace. This is the throne hall. And unfortunately we cannot go inside. I don't know why is this so strict. I think they should allow two visitors to see the throne of the Thai king, but we have only one picture here. Well, I could also Google one picture of the throne and that's it. I wanted to see it personally, but well, what to do? If it's not possible, then it's not possible. We cannot enter this building because it's some kind of office inside. Still, some buildings of the palace are used by the Kingdom of Thailand and by the government. It is very interesting that the palace also has an inner court and it is still closed. This is the place where the king's royal consorts and daughters were living, and it was like a small city entirely populated by women and boys under the age of puberty. So even though now currently no royalty living here in the palace, the inner court is still closed. I'm really curious about it. How does it look like, and well, why do they still keep it closed? This is another Coronation Hall. It's also closed. You can admire it only from the outside, but there we can see a small throne outside. It's very interesting. It looks like a pavilion from which the king was holding a speech, but I'm just guessing. I don't know. But it's for sure that this palace is really amazing. As you can see, rather than being a single structure, the Grand Palace is made up of numerous buildings, halls, pavilions,
open lawns, gardens, courtyards. So it's a really huge palace complex. Its asymmetry and eclectic styles are due to its organic development, with additions and rebuildings being made by successive reignings of kings over more than 200 years of history. So this is how it was expanded all the time.
Now we will visit a very interesting and very old temple which is called Wat Po. It is not known when it was constructed. They estimate that it was established in the 17th century, and it was called back then as Wat Potaram. which refers to a monastery which is in Bodh Gaya. Bodh Gaya is a city in the state of Bihar, which is in India. And why is that interesting? Because it was a Bodhi tree under which Buddha gained the enlightenment, and that's why this temple was called after that monastery as Wat Potaram. Well, when King Rama I, as I mentioned in the previous vlog, established and constructed the royal palace, which is not very far from this temple, he also renovated Wat Potaram, and the name was changed to Wat Po, and it was the first temple of the King Rama I, and this is also a place where his ashes were enshrined. It's also interesting that this is considered as the first public university of Thailand, where they teach religion, science and medicine. And in 1955 they also started to teach Thai massage and pharmacy. The temple complex is really huge. It lays on 80,000 square meters. So yes, you can find here many buildings, not just one temple. And I also wanted to add as a travel advice, if you come here, it's good to bring with you some cash, because 200 bahts are the entry fee, and you cannot pay by card. This is not very expensive, it's like 6-7 euros, so it's really advisable to bring with you some cash, because otherwise you cannot pay. And I also wanted to add that almost all Buddhist temples are free to enter, and I think this is the only one where you need to pay for the entrance. This first-class royal temple is also famous about the number of the Buddha statues. You can find here more than 1000 Buddha images, and also it is called as the Temple of the Reclining Buddha, because we can find here a very huge 46 meter long reclining Buddha. So yes, let's go inside and take a look. I believe this temple will contain the large 46 meter long reclining Buddha, because this looks as the biggest building here. Wow, this is really huge. I never saw such a big Buddha. And if you compare to my height, then you can see that how big is it. These murals are also extremely beautiful. This is a meditation hall. It is not allowed to enter, probably because the tourists shouldn't bother the monks which are inside and meditating. Now we'll visit an extremely outstanding sightseeing location of Bangkok, the Buddhist temple Wat Trimit. Why is this special? Because it has the largest golden Buddha sculpture of the world. It is 5.5 tons and it cost 250,000 US dollars, so it's extremely expensive. Historians said that it was made in the 13th century because the Buddha's head has an egg shape. So because of this attribute it dates back to the 13th century. Back then probably they made a lot of egg-shaped head Buddhas. How this gold Buddha sculpture survived during the centuries? They plastered it with stucco and with some other material to hide it, so nobody knew that it is gold inside. Well, people who did this were aware of an invasion of the Ayutthaya kingdom, and this is why they were hiding this golden Buddha. But unfortunately they passed away and they didn't let anybody know about this, so everybody forgot that this is actually a golden Buddha statue. So this is the reason why it could survive during the centuries. So actually in 1767 it was a Burmese invasion. Burma was the country on the current territory of Myanmar, and what happened? They invaded the Ayutthaya kingdom and they ruined everything, and this golden Buddha statue could survive among the ruins because the Burmese also didn't know that it's a golden sculpture, so they didn't take it with them. The sculpture was then just placed in a temple, and it was treated like an absolutely normal statue. In 1955 it was then transferred to this place, to Wat Trimit, and you can imagine that it was very heavy, so people were carrying it with ropes, and somehow before they finally moved it to a pedestal, they broke it, and this is how they recognize that beneath this plaster there is gold. And they called the experts, and they were examining this Buddha statue, and this is how they recognized that it's full gold. And actually they also discovered that in the 13th century it was made it very clever, because it can be disassembled like a puzzle. It has 9 pieces, and this is how it can be transferred more easier. Local people were very happy, and of course journalists were writing about a miracle, and this miracle was connected with the celebration of 2500 years after Buddha passed away. So they said this is why this miracle happened, that people discovered this golden Buddha statue. So yeah, let's go inside and take a look of this amazing sculpture. Here we can also see the gate of the Chinatown. It is very strange that regulations vary at each temple. For example, here I couldn't take video, it was not allowed, and I was allowed to take some photos, so I will show you these photos which I took. And when I paid for the entrance, well, it was very cheap, only 40 baht. I was not asked to cover my knees, and the other tourist was forced to wear some scarf on his knees like a skirt. It was very funny, very strange, but well, this is in my opinion very interesting and very strange, because it's the same religion and the same Buddha, but still each temple has its own regulations. I can't explain. You can imagine that such a treasure cannot be left alone, so there are some soldiers and policemen who are watching over this place, and they didn't say anything to me when I took off my mask. It is mandatory to wear the mask even outside, and well, I don't think that I can do this introduction of the vlog in a face mask. You will not hear anything, so I need to take off. But I take care that it's nobody in the nearby, so actually I didn't put anybody in danger. But it was very funny. There was an old guy who was making me signs that please wear the mask, mask. It is COVID. What is your problem? You are 10 meters far from me, and it's nobody next to me. But anyway, it was okay. This time we will visit a very beautiful temple which is called Wat Arun, and it's very special. As you can see behind me, it is completely different from other temples. It is also called the Temple of the Dawn, and well, this is because Aruna is a Hindu god of the radiation of the sun, and the temple's name is coming from this. This is why it's called Wat Arun. You know what means in Thai language temple. The temple was constructed first in the Ayutthaya period, so probably between the 14th, 15th century, but it was reconstructed in the 18th century when King Taksin suffered defeat against the Burmese, and he arrived here at dawn. This is what the legend says. He took a rest here at this temple, and because of that he ordered the reconstruction of this temple, and also he ordered to rename this temple as the Temple of the Dawn. Also massive reconstructions and decorations took place in the 19th century by the order of King Rama III. We can see a lot of beautiful Chinese porcelain and colorful glasses which decorate this temple, and if you come here at the dawn it will be much more beautiful because the sun will shine on these porcelain decorations, and this is what makes this temple very special. These towers are called prang. These are like Hindu and Buddhist architecture elements used often in the Khmer Empire between 82 and 1431. I remember when I visited Angkor Wat in Cambodia, it was very similar to this, and if you didn't watch that vlog, I will link it for you now. Well, it's not HD because that time I was still taking the vlogs with my phone, so it has English subtitle, but I still recommend it, it's worth to watch it. So the most imposing spire is in front of us in the middle. It's 70 meters high, and it's beautifully decorated with tiny pieces of colored glass and Chinese porcelain placed delicately into patterns, so it's really amazing. They are really richly carved.
ได้แล้วเวลามาเขาก็เอาแว่นมาพี่ลืมอะไรหมดเลยนะเอ้าอะไรพี่ทิ้งแม็กไหนอ่ะนี่ไงกับโอ้
Unfortunately, we cannot go higher than the second level. I can imagine it's not an easy climb to the third and the fourth level, as you can see. These stairs are also very old. The Emerald Buddha was here at Wat Arun until it was transferred to the Grand Royal Palace. Its original name was Wat Makok until it was renamed to the Temple of the Dawn. The entrance fee is 100 baht. It's like €3. This was the complete travel film about Bangkok. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if that's so, please subscribe to my channel if you didn't do it yet. It's also very important to click on the bell icon, because this is how you will get notified about the new contents, and I promise you that there will be some very nice vlogs in the future, for example about Phuket, because today I'm flying there. So that's it, have a nice day and goodbye.